You've been all over the place. You're now a seasoned radio guest.
Yeah.
You've been on Triple R.
Yep.
PBS, is that right? Yep.
Yeah, I'm doing ABC Melbourne tomorrow, I believe, with Mark Holden, which should be fun. So.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so the interviews are coming left, right and centre at the moment, which is cool. It's so exciting just to because this was always like my vision, just to be interviewing all day and then go play gigs at night with a little bit of driving in between. So yeah, I'm super excited and high on life at the moment. It's awesome.
Yeah. Being a lone musician, that must be awful hard to organise all this stuff. So what sort of help have you had, not only just getting the album together, but getting the launch together and things like that?
I mean, I do most of it myself.
Yeah.
I'm self-managed at the moment. I've just scored an amazing publicist. Her name's Amanda Harcourt. And, she's doing a really cool job and getting me some really cool stuff. And yeah, most of it's just myself. And then you just ask help of certain people for certain things. You know, I've got mates that come and help me at certain gigs, or a sound engineer few sound engineers across the country that come and help out and do my sound for me every now and then. And a lot of musicians, the problem with a lot of musicians is they're lazy, so they think that it's just going to come to them, but it's a general rule in life that you got to...
Yeah, it's like a business.
Nothing comes... Yeah. You know, you got to make it happen. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's... Music is a business, and that's how you got to do it all, so... Yeah,
it's one thing to be an artist, but you have to actually get out and get the crowd in.
That's right, and the industry's totally changed. Not that I've been around forever at all, but from what I hear and what I've been told, that, things have really taken a bit of a flip, especially since, like, the internet's come into play. And
so how does a musician find a decent recording studio? Does it like word of mouth?
I didn't actually find a recording studio this time round. I recorded it with my mate Arun. He's a bit of a gypsy, so he kind of just moves around. He's never in one spot for too long, and he just happened to be in Melbourne for a little while, and so I just got onto him, and he'd done a few recordings in the past, and we set up in his portable studio in his bedroom and plugged away at it for a good month. Yeah, just bouncing ideas off each other and laying down tracks. It was really fun. It was really... And then I kind of got it mixed at a big studio down in Brunswick called The Wick. It all came together just really well.
What sort of factor does the, say, computer work come into this album?
Well, the mix was through a proper desk. I always wanted that. I didn't want it digitally mixed. I mean, we did a couple... Because the possibilities are just endless these days, we did stuff around with a few things, digitally, of course, but the mix is generally on a desk.
Yeah.
It's still very much a raw album, I like to think, and what I can do live is pretty much on the album with a few sprinkles of sugar. Like, the way I'm looking at it is, if you're selling your car, you clean it up before someone comes to look at it.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty much, this is my product, and so I've just, like I said, just cleaned it up a bit here and there.
You didn't over-process it.
Yeah.
Of the 10 songs, just about all of them are new compared to your last album. Did you write most of them while you were on the road?
Maybe one or two of them had been written before I even released the Cruisin' CD 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But majority of them, were written bits and pieces in the back of the van or something like that. Or, like I said earlier, there's no general rule to songwriting, so they just happened.
Well, what would you like to play for us next?
I'll do the title track from my first CD.
I've been cruising down the open road, destination unknown. I don't wanna go home. Got my bed in the back, my bulb on the front, my aviator's on, and I'm driving through the sun. I've been cruising down the open road, and destination unknown, and I don't wanna go back home. I've been cruising blue skies up above, green grass all around. There's so much to love when you're driving town to town. I've been cruising. Destination unknown, and I don't wanna go back home. Destination unknown, and I don't wanna go back home. Destination unknown, and I don't wanna go back home.
The Batcave, Yarra Valley FM 99.1, with Shaun Kirk playing live in the studio. Now, you've just played Cruisin' from your first album.
Yep.
How comfortable are you with your old stuff?
That song in particular, I play at every show pretty much.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a crowd favourite. So, but I've definitely moved on from a lot of the older stuff as well. There's a lot of songs from the first album which I don't generally play, maybe on a special occasion when someone comes up and asks for it or something like that. But
You don't have a Sadie the cleaning lady in your repertoire?
that's it, yeah. That's the idea.
I was looking at your new CD before, and it's you have a dedication there, in loving memory of Malcolm S. Cuff.
That was my grandfather,
Right.
who passed away in August last year, I think it was. So,
Yeah.
yeah, just thought it was pretty fitting to do that, knowing that he's
a fairly strong
looking
figure.
down, and he used to love coming to my gigs. And
Well, I've heard you play live. In fact, the first time I heard you was at a restaurant in Monbulk. You had everything happening. You had your mouth organ, you had your guitars, you had two different mics with different effects, and you had your, what is it, a beatbox or something?
it's probably extended even more these
Yeah.
days. So now I've got 6 things going at my feet.
Yeah.
I've got a kick, a snare, a hi-hat, a cymbal, a tambourine and a stomp box all at my feet while I'm playing the guitar and the harmonica. And so I can come up with all these little different grooves. I've trained my feet to
Yeah.
be my drummer pretty much. And do all different little grooves and stuff. And the reason I did that was pretty much just to so I could be a full-time travelling musician.
Yeah.
And get the gigs where people want to dance and stuff like that without having to pay a drummer, pretty much.
Well, it was pretty phenomenal, because another thing I noticed on that night, and I don't know if you do it generally when you're playing live, is by the end of the song you're going twice as fast.
Yeah,
You really
that-
speed things up.